Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel video, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the second episode of What If T'Challa became a Star-Lord. This is an interesting episode because this was one of the episodes I was least excited for, because how can you take the character of Black Panther and turn him into Star-Lord? Which is, in my opinion, Peter Quill as Star-Lord is very entertaining. Chris Pratt does a great job as Star-Lord, but the character of T'Challa being Star-Lord just sounded so weird to me. So let's just kind of talk about it. So for me, this episode was actually pretty surprisingly good. Right off the bat, T'Challa as Star-Lord really actually works, because what this whole show is about is the whole reality of the MCU is changed. Different things are happening, and so because of T'Challa's character, because he's so noble, different characters are changed and different scenarios are changed. So let's kind of start off with the opening scene, where the famous scene from the opening scene from Guardians of the Galaxy, where T'Challa Star-Lord steals the orb that has the Power Stone in it on Morag, and then Korath and the Sakaran soldiers come in and try to stop him. And in the Guardians of the Galaxy, Korath does not know who Star-Lord is. He has no clue. He's just a guy that is just serving Ronin to get the Power Stone. And in this episode, in this reality, Korath knows who Star-Lord is and who T'Challa is, and he's a huge fan of him. And honestly, Korath, as a change of his character, and him being like the new addition to this crew, it was kind of weird at the same time. It was cool that he was like a big fan, even though he was a villain. But when he joined the squad, it even got even better, because he was saying all these great jokes and stuff, and it was so funny. So, Korath, you get some high points on that. I'm not really sure if he works as a hero, because he didn't really do anything heroic. He was more of a part of the distraction. But overall, I liked his character in the episode. And then the way they actually kind of change the way he gets taken, they do it in a weird way, because like, I thought they just take him because they have to, and then like, T'Challa, his mother died in front of him. No, it plays out that he was an actual Wakandan, and he came from Wakanda, so Peter Quill still exists. Peter Quill's not like non-existing in this universe. He still exists in the universe. He's just out on Earth sweeping the floors at Dairy Queen. That's all he's doing. So another thing that I liked is that the themes of the episode kind of reminded me a lot like Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War. So like the theme that young T'Challa and his father were talking about before he got abducted by Yondu and stuff. They were talking about like that the outside world of Wakanda is filled with war and dangerous people, and people don't understand our ways of life. And it's a cool thing that we kind of explored in Black Panther. and well, sort of. And then another thing we gotta talk about is the change of Thanos. So, I was not expecting, I knew Thanos was coming back in the series because Josh Brolin was on the cast, and I was kind of thinking he was gonna turn into Marvel Zombies episode, but, when that episode technically takes place during Infinity War, but that doesn't happen. So technically he appears in this episode first. And honestly, I liked him in this episode. I liked how they explained that T'Challa had a sit-down conversation with him, basically talking about that his plan never really made sense. And honestly, it doesn't really make sense. But in Infinity War, obviously, it's very clever. But I don't understand why, but I thought it was cool. I kind of liked how they kind of looked at it. And also, let's talk about Drax, as in this reality, T'Challa has saved Drax's family from the Kree invasion, so Drax isn't in the killing prison. He's now a bartender serving at this party. And there's a little funny moment where he wants to take a picture, T'Challa doesn't want to. And then it shows Nebula. And when I first saw Nebula, I was like, why does she have hair? She looks weird. Now, of course, it was very fun to hear Karen Gillan as Nebula again. And also Chadwick Boseman to play T'Challa again. But seeing Nebula like that, I've never really understood why she looks like that. I have no idea why. It's a cool look, but it was just kind of weird. So I'm a bit mixed on what her look is. On her look. The next thing I want to talk about with this is sort of a decision of why T'Challa never went back to Wakanda, and that, as we all know, he loves Wakanda, he loves his people, he loves his family, but it says that Wakanda was destroyed, but Yondu lied in saying that he had to protect him to see the truth. And that part I never really understood, but which we'll get onto the bad. So yeah. I guess I also liked how it had some nice relationship between Yondu and T'Challa. It was a cool new relationship that I never got to see before with Peter Quill and Yondu. And it has some callbacks to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I of course loved. You know, the plot of the episode where they go to nowhere to get the embers of Genesis to feed billions of lives across the galaxy. It relates back to Infinity War, where Thanos wanted to snap half of the life in the universe to basically so everyone can be equal to eat things. And it was a clever idea. They did a twist where they made the Black Order, and well, actually, let's talk about some stuff. So, first off, when we're going to nowhere, we get back introduced to the Collector, Karina, you know, the Collector's Collection, Seth Green returning as Howard the Duck, which I thought was fun. And then we also get the return of the Black Order, which the last time we saw them was in Avengers Endgame, and they were serving that 2014 Thanos, but this time they're actually serving the Collector, which means they're not on Thanos' side, which was surprising. I'm also wondering where Gamora is of this universe, because we have Nebula and we have the Black Order, but we obviously don't know where Gamora is. So I'm wondering if that Gamora we saw with the Thanos armor and stuff, if that's gonna be part of like the new reality. I don't know, but anyway, so Thanos being the hero in this episode, where he goes to fight the Sicarian soldiers and then fights Proxima Midnight and Cull Obsidian, was pretty fun. And also having Karina, the Collector's slave, actually getting her revenge, getting the Collector's bracelet, and letting out all the prisoners of the Collector out to get revenge on him, is just awesome. and something I kind of wanted to see, because she technically just sacrificed herself in Guardians of the Galaxy with the Power Stone, and I mean, I understand why she did it. She couldn't take it anymore being her slave, and as you saw, her sister was trapped in there too. And it was very tragic for her. So I'm glad she actually got the chance to actually do something good, but still do something kind of bad at the same time. And then also, let's kind of go back to the ending of the episode. Now let's just talk about the ending of the episode, where basically T'Challa and his new family meets the Wakandan family, where we get to see Thanos with Cosmo the dog on his lap, talking to Okoye about the genocide plan, Shuri and Korath talking, or a regular Wakandan and Kraglin talking. It was actually kind of cool seeing all these characters talk to each other that we never really got to see talk to each other, and so I thought that was cool. And then the final sequence where we get to see Peter Quill mopping the floors at night at Dairy Queen, and he's listening to music. At first, he kind of looks like Paul Rudd, as he looked like Scott Lang. Maybe that's just because the suits, like the designs of their helmets, their stuff just looks weird. They just look similar. And then he turns around, he's listening to music, he's like, sorry, we're closed. And turns around, Ego is behind him. And so I guess that's going to be setting up another story. Though I'm not really sure how that's going to be set up, because we already have a universe with Star-Lord in it. So you're basically creating another Star. So what are you trying to do? Creating a non-god Star-Lord? You're basically just creating a god, a human celestial sort of thing. So that's cool. It was very cool to hear Kurt Russell as Ego again. So that's really all I gotta say about the good. Now let's move on to the bad. I know that's been a long time, but that's how much I gotta say about that. And for the issues on this episode, I'm just gonna say this. The specific plot of the episode, where they're trying to get this Embers of Genesis, and they're gonna use it to feed billions and millions of lives across the galaxy. It's kind of predictable. I feel like it was just used for moments of what if this scene happened? What if the Black Order fought Thanos? What if the Sakaran soldiers fought Thanos? And what if all these people were against Thanos? And what if the Collector started using all of these weapons from past MCU films? And I mean, it was cool the way they did it, but the specific story just I never cared for. But I liked the moments in the story that we were dealing with. Likewise, there was also some moments like, why couldn't you just return T'Challa to, back to Wakanda, and why couldn't you just leave? Because, like, he was literally just a kid. You could have just put him back on the ground and leave. Wakanda couldn't easily be destroyed that quickly. It couldn't. I don't think I have any other issues with this episode, so that's my thoughts on episode 2 of What If. Before I give my final score, be sure to tell me down below what were your thoughts on episode 2 of WandaVision. Oh, no, I said WandaVision. Of What If. Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? We're right there between. I want to hear all your thoughts down below in the comment section. With that said, let's get on my scores. Alright, so that's it for my scores, but we're not done here yet. We got one more thing to do before we end this video, and that's to talk about some theories that we have, since this episode kind of left off with a cliffhanger with normal Peter Quill on Earth being at Dairy Queen and Ego appearing at Dairy Queen. So my theory for this episode is that basically, after what we saw at the end of episode after we saw at the end of this episode with Peter Quill and Ego, my theory is that there's gonna be an episode probably in season 2 where we're gonna get Peter Quill living his life as a normal human being. Like, he's not being abducted by aliens, he just lives his normal life. And we get to see that, and then we get to the point of where he gets to be with Ego. That would be something interesting, but I don't really know how it would play out without the whole Star-Lord thing. But another thing I kind of liked is that, well, not liked, but also, do I think that T'Challa as Star-Lord will return in this show or in future projects? Of course he is. I don't know about future projects, but in this show, of course, because he's gonna be in the final episode, probably, like in something called Guardians of the Multiverse, where where all the heroes that we've been introduced to, which right now are Captain Carter and T'Challa Star-Lord, those are the characters that are being introduced right now. So obviously these characters are going to be a part of this multiversal warrior team. So it makes sense that they're going to assemble all these heroes to take on whatever's coming, whatever threat is coming. I believe it's going to be the Ultron episode. But that's really all my theories I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Marvel6 and my TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my about section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as Instagram, Marvel_6_, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.